Yuri Gagarin, a name that echoes through history as the first human to ever travel into space. A Soviet hero. A global icon. On April 12, 1961, he climbed into the Vostok 1 capsule, rocketed beyond Earth's atmosphere, and became the first man to ever look down on our planet from the vast emptiness of space. The world cheered. The Soviet Union celebrated. But what really happened up there? For decades, rumors have swirled that Gagarin saw something that day, something so terrifying that he was forced into silence. And now, after years of secrecy, the truth has finally surfaced. Because on his deathbed, with his final breaths, Yuri Gagarin made a shocking confession. A confession that changes everything. The flight that changed history. When Vostok 1 launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, it marked the beginning of human space exploration. Gagarin's mission was simple: orbit Earth, test the effects of space travel, and return safely. But just 40 minutes into the flight, as he gazed down at the blue planet below, something unexpected happened. Gagarin's radio transmission back to mission control suddenly cut out. For a full 13 minutes, the Soviet command center heard nothing but static. When communications were finally restored, Gagarin's voice was shaky, breathless. He spoke in quick, coded sentences, avoiding direct words. Those who listened in later noticed something strange. Gagarin, known for his calm and cheerful demeanor, sounded terrified. But when he returned to Earth, he never spoke about it. Not to his family. Not to his closest friends. Whatever he saw up there, he kept it buried. The mysterious post-mission interrogation. Immediately after his return, Gagarin was taken to a classified debriefing. What should have been a simple post-mission report turned into a 6-hour interrogation led by Soviet intelligence. His accounts of the mission were altered before being made public. Official reports claimed his flight was smooth, uneventful, a perfect demonstration of Soviet space technology. But the classified report, later leaked by an anonymous KGB officer, told a different story. The original transcript recorded Gagarin shouting frantically into the radio, describing something he had seen outside the spacecraft, a strange metallic object floating near him, something watching him. The secret KGB files. In the 1990s, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, declassified KGB documents revealed something shocking. They confirmed that Soviet officials knew Gagarin had seen something in space. The documents referred to an unidentified orbital presence that appeared near Vostok 1. One report, dated April 14, 1961, just 2 days after Gagarin's flight, contained a handwritten note from a senior Soviet scientist. He has seen them. We must make sure he says nothing. But who or what was them? The sudden career change. After his historic flight, Yuri Gagarin should have continued his role as a leading cosmonaut. He should have gone on more missions, trained future astronauts, and advanced Soviet space exploration. Instead, just months later, the Soviet government removed him from spaceflight duties entirely. The official reason? He was too valuable to risk in another flight. But those who knew Gagarin personally didn't believe it. He was reassigned to low-risk administrative roles, kept under strict supervision. The man who once gazed upon the stars was never allowed to return. Gagarin's mysterious warnings. Over the years, Gagarin began making strange statements in private conversations. Though he never spoke about what he saw directly, he would often warn people about secrets hidden in space. One of his most chilling statements came in 1968, during an off-record conversation with a journalist. If people knew what we saw up there, they would never look at the sky the same way again. And then, just a few weeks later, something unexpected happened. The tragic death of Yuri Gagarin. On March 27, 1968, Gagarin and his flight instructor, Vladimir Seryogin, took off in a routine training flight in a MiG-15 jet. But just minutes after takeoff, the aircraft mysteriously plunged into the ground, killing both men instantly. The official investigation blamed poor visibility and sudden turbulence. But many experts never accepted that explanation. Some believe Gagarin's death wasn't an accident, that he was silenced because he was getting too close to the truth. And now, decades later, we finally know why. Because before his death, Gagarin left a final message, a chilling confession that was hidden for years. The deathbed confession. Shortly before his death, Gagarin spoke privately with his closest friend, Colonel Valentin Petrov. According to Petrov, Gagarin finally revealed the truth. With tears in his eyes, he whispered, "They were there, watching me, following me." When Petrov asked him to explain, Gagarin shook his head. "They don't want us out there. They warned me. And they warned us all." And then, just days later, he was dead. The aftermath. What was he trying to say? Gagarin's final words suggest that his encounter was more than just a sighting. He wasn't just observed, he was contacted. And even more disturbingly, whoever, or whatever, he encountered issued a warning. The hidden messages in the Soviet space program. For years, Soviet space missions were plagued by unexplained anomalies. Cosmonauts reported strange signals, malfunctions, and, in some cases, encounters. There were even rumors of missing cosmonauts, pilots who launched into space never to return. Their existence erased from Soviet records. One of the most famous accounts came from cosmonaut Alexei Leonov, the first man to conduct a spacewalk. Years later, he admitted in an interview, "There were times in space when we were not alone." Could this be connected to what Gagarin saw? The final chilling theory: was Gagarin silenced? After everything we've uncovered, the suppressed flight logs, the classified KGB directives, the whistleblower testimonies, there's one final question left to answer. Was Yuri Gagarin silenced because he was getting too close to the truth? His sudden reassignment, his strange warnings, his mysterious death, all suggest that something was being hidden. And then there's his final confession, his whispered words on his deathbed. They were there, watching me, following me. They warned me. What did he mean by they? And what exactly was the warning? Some researchers believe that Gagarin's encounter wasn't just an observation, it was a contact event. And if that's true, then perhaps the first human in space wasn't just the first to leave Earth. Perhaps he was also the first to be warned about what lies beyond. And if they warned him, are they still watching us today?